All right, welcome to today's meeting from Securian Financial, who's presenting with us today. We have some benefits that go along with our life insurance that are available to people that have the life insurance, and we wanted to share more about that with you. So I am going to turn the time over to Amy from our life insurance company.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Pals, and I am with Oaks. Oaks is the administrator for the life insurance benefit. As Christy said, there is a life insurance benefit provided to the employees through Securian Financial. Securian is the third largest life insurance underwriter in the United States. I'm going to spend the next few minutes reviewing what we call the lifestyle benefits. And there are a lot of forms and information that are available for you, the employees, as well as your family members. Lifestyle and benefits, what this includes are 4 key areas of support for you, your family members, during your life. The 4 different areas are legal, financial services, that also includes some grief counseling. We have travel assistance, and this is provided from Redpoint LLC. And Redpoint was a company founded by retired Navy SEALs and paramedics. We then have legacy planning and resources. This is a website that is going to provide you with so much information regarding end-of-life items, such as, do you have a will? Do you have a power of attorney? Why do you need those items? And last but not least is the beneficiary financial counseling. And this would be available to anyone who receives a life insurance benefit. PricewaterhouseCoopers would reach out, seeing if the beneficiary needs some help or needs some support when it comes to that lump sum of money. Just a reminder, a beneficiary is an individual or individuals who would receive the life insurance benefit upon your passing. The first one we're going to start off with is our professional support. And this is the legal, financial, and grief resources that are available to you, the employees, and your family members. Let's not forget them. There are times when your life takes more complex turns. You may find yourself dealing with an issue where an attorney's guidance can be beneficial. If you have a young teenager who maybe has gotten into some trouble, or maybe you're filing for divorce, you can use this service to help obtain a legal resource where your first 30 minutes is free. You would then be able to hire them at a discounted rate. Or maybe you're struggling to cope with the loss of a loved one. So maybe the beneficiary is not paid out, but maybe you lost a parent this year. So how do you deal with those? How do you deal with coping with that? Whether you're looking to protect your family's financial future, be proactive to make sure that you have everything in order, or if you're trying to figure out what type of financial help do I need. So I'm going to start with the very top one. When dealing with concerns related to legal, you can visit a comprehensive website that includes a library of articles from the legal library. There are different videos that you can also educate yourself on. A very important benefit in this section are templates. There is actually a way to create a free and simple will. As I go through the following slides, I will show you those steps as to how you can create a free and simple will. Please note that you have unlimited telephone access to attorneys and master level financial counselors. If you find yourself in need of advice or representation from an attorney, you'll move beyond the phone conversation to an in-person session. As I mentioned a while ago, it does include a 30-minute complimentary consultation, and this can be available to you face-to-face. After that consultation, if you decide to engage those services of the attorney, you can take advantage of the discount. And that way you can get a discount off of their hourly fee. If you're trying to create that will for the first time, or if you did a will or completed a will when your children were 2 and 4, and now they're 22 and 24, maybe you need to have it updated. Maybe your mom is in some need of some elder care. Maybe you need an elder care attorney. This service is always confidential. My agency never gets a report, nor does SLCC obtain a reason as to why you called. So if it's trying to deal with finances or finally get that will documented, this website and service is available for you. The website that you would log into is, I will make sure to get that to Christy, and Christy will send out the entire document to all of the employees. But on that website, it's going to, or on that document, it's going to give you the website information to obtain these legal services. When you log into the website, you will see a plethora of information. And in a minute here, I'm going to flip to that website so that you can see what it looks like. But why do I talk of creating a will? Well, and the reason I do that is when I'm alive, I get to say who gets what possessions and what items. When I pass away, where do those items go? Well, a will dictates who gets what items or belongings. In 2020, less than 32% of Americans have a will. You can use this benefit to work with an attorney, or if you would like to create a free and simple will, you can do that online. It will get down to the state level. So one of the very first questions that you need to select is your state. And then you will need to select, are you married or single? Upon that, you will create a username and password that will start the will process. Once that document is completed, you will need to print it out and get a witness and a notary completed, but then that makes it a free legal document that will be your will. So now when I'm showing my screen, this is what the website looks after you log in. There is a great search engine up here at the top that you can put in any of your questions. Upon hitting enter, it's going to bring up either a handful of articles or items that can be searched. Way down at the bottom, there's also a view more. If you're looking for elder care information, I know I spoke about the financial calculators. If I click on this more button, you will see the legal resources. Upon clicking into the legal resources, you can contact local attorneys. If you need a mediator, here is the information about the legal library. I'll warn you though, if you start digging in that legal library, even it will take you probably a couple of hours to dig through, and it's really interesting information. But where you obtain the will is under this legal forms section. If you click on the legal forms, it's going to pull up a next set of information. You're going to want to click on personal documents. Now, when I click on this, it's going to bring up the state selection. So you select the state where you're located, and you will see over here on the side, all of these items are specific for Utah. If you're trying to file a complaint, if you have questions about family and divorce, oh, there's information about a living trust. But way down here at the bottom is where I will get into wills, power of attorney, and estate planning. So it's going to ask you, are you wanting to create a last will and testament for a married individual, or are you a single individual? Once you click the Get Started, this is where it's going to ask you to create a username, or I'm sorry, it's going to say Start Now, and then ask you to create a username and password. I'm going to now log in, and I'm going to get started. What I want to point out is along the top here is my taskbar. It's going to show me the different steps. When I look over at the left-hand side, it's going to walk me through completing this questionnaire. And over on the right-hand side, it's going to help populate that legal document. It's going to walk you through step by step all of the items. So if I was to click next, it's going to bring up my basic requirements. It's going to talk about my estate. And in order for me to move on, I have to acknowledge that I have read the information about my state. And then over here in this dark shaded box, there are explanations that you can read through with your spouse or partner to make sure you fully understand. So up here at the top, the first couple of boxes have turned to green, meaning they're done. The red means that I have made it to this section. It's going to ask you a handful of questions. The very first basic information is, who are you? What is your name? But if you're trying to do this and then all of a sudden a child pops upstairs or the phone rings, you can always save this document and go back in later and complete it. Once again, it won't allow me to complete it and move on because I have not obtained or completed the entire fields. Across the top, you will also see a progress tracker. So that is the steps of how I get to the will. Once again, I clicked on the website. I went to either legal services or I scroll down to the legal services. Since I'm in this website, I'm going to jump into the financial calculators section really quickly. One of the very common questions I'm asked is, hey, Amy, how much life insurance do I need? Well, and that's a very personal question. The simple rule of thumb is have enough life insurance to cover your debt. But I have children. I want to make sure to provide for them. You can actually work with a financial counselor to make sure that you have your debt and your finances in order. You can request to talk with somebody, or you can walk through a handful of the questionnaires. And if you ever want to get back to the homepage, this heart up at the top will get you back there. The high-level topics on this website are family, health, life insurance, money, and work. You can click on any of these areas. It will give you an overview, and you also have the ability to chat with somebody or always pick up the phone and give them a call. There's different articles that you could read and research on, but then there's also the high-level topics. If you're dealing with legal issues and trying to figure out, do I need to file for divorce? Do I have some family law questions? All of this information is confidential and will never be reported to SLCC, nor will my agency ever get a report that tells us why you. If I go back to the PowerPoint slide, you'll be able to walk through these different steps. But yes, this is great information, but what do I need to do in order to make sure that my personal affairs are in order? And making sure that my spouse knows to call human resources in the event I pass away, because I want to make sure that my family is cared for. There is an important documents and personal assets form that is also on that website. And if you take some time and go through this end of life planning, you will be able to answer those questions with your spouse or loved one. Now, I do want to point out the questions that are asked are sometimes not the easiest to answer. So don't sit down and try to do this 2 weeks after you've buried your dog Sparky. But I really encourage you to sit down and to complete this document for you and your spouse, and then share it with your children or whomever you are listing as your beneficiary so they know where this information is at and they have access to this quickly without having to do a lot of digging. It's one document that lists out a majority of your personal information. As you can see here, there are 20 pages that you can go through and answer the questions on, and you can leave any of them blank that you would like to. It's just a way that you have everything in order. This is a PDF document and it can be saved. I would recommend maybe putting it in a safe deposit box or in a fire safe, because this information is pretty sensitive because you're listing out information that is provided, your finances are provided here. So that's the asset form. We did spend some time going over the financial assessment as well, if you need to help get information on that financial assessment. Professionals are there to support you each and every day. You can give them a call, you can log into the website to chat, and then here is the username and password that will get you into that library, to those forms, to be able to open a secure chat. Take advantage of these comprehensive online resources. Upon your first visit, as I've mentioned, you will need to log in with the username L as in lion, F as in Frank, G as in giraffe, and the password resources. In future visits, you can save this information. And a reminder, you can save all of these documents as a PDF if you were to start them and then eventually need to go back and update them. The next item that I'm going to speak on is travel assistance. Being away from home sometimes means being out of your comfort zone. This is especially true if something unexpected occurs to upset your plans. The Travel Assistance Program can help put you at ease when you hit the road. This benefit is available if you are traveling 100 miles or more away from home, or if you need some help with a pre-trip planning. Maybe you want to make sure that your passport is current and that you have the correct visa requirements. Maybe you just want to make sure that your medical insurance will cover you, or where do I need to go in the event I become sick or injured? Whether you are traveling domestically or outside of the country, you have accesses to services, and resources in the event of an emergency. Please note this is not travel insurance. They're not going to pay if you miss a flight. However, these services include medical or security evacuation, identity theft support, and if you were to lose a wallet or a purse, this group is going to help you. The other thing that I want to point out is with the travel assistance benefit, if you were to pass away, the Red Point Assistance will help pay to ship your remains back and deal with any custom issues. I am located in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, so there are oftentimes individuals from this area winter out west or down south, meaning in Arizona or in Florida. If somebody from our office were to pass away, this benefit would pay to ship their remains back to Minnesota and make sure that their family has available, or that this group is available to answer any family questions. Next time you're traveling more than 100 miles or more away from home, make sure that you have Red Point added to your phone and or put a copy of this next slide in your suitcase. I'm going to highly encourage you to save these phone numbers to your phone and then also visit the lifebenefits.com travel. If you have children who are in college and they are going to be studying abroad, Redpoint can actually help make sure that they are taken care of and make sure that any questions are answered. If that minor child, if something were to happen to them and a minor is considered 17 or less, Redpoint will actually pay for your airline ticket for you to go be with your minor child. So add this phone number in, but please note that this is not a reimbursement. You need to utilize Redpoint right away if an emergency comes up. The next item that I'm going to speak on is legacy planning. This website, securian.com/legacy, is a end-of-life checklist. It will also give you a document to go over final arrangements. But end-of-life planning, what is that? Do you have a will? Do you have a power of attorney? Why are those things important, and how do I complete them? The death of a family member can be very stressful. If proper steps haven't been taken to prepare, things become even more difficult for you and also your family members. This legacy planning website provides you with self-help tools that give you a peace of mind that your affairs are in order well in advance. There are also resources available to help cope with immediate challenges that may occur when a family member passes. If you want to learn more information, please access the self-help resource at securian.com/legacy. There is no user ID or password required to access this site. I highly encourage you to print out that end-of-life planning document and review it with maybe your children, your loved ones, other family members, maybe your in-laws, so that upon a passing, everybody knows that these were your wishes, such as, I'd like to have my body donated to science, or I would like to be cremated. That way, upon your passing, there is a roadmap or a guideline that your family members have to follow instead of wondering, what if I've made the right decision or not? The last item that I'm going to speak briefly on is the beneficiary financial counseling. By SLCC choosing to participate their group life insurance benefit through Securian, they have taken additional steps to protect you and your family members. Beneficiary financial counseling provides beneficiaries professional guidance to help make sound financial decisions regarding the policy and next procedures. Beneficiaries receiving $25,000 or more have access to this fitness assessment by completing a personalized financial plan. They will also receive a comprehensive beneficiary reference guide, as well as information and a biweekly newsletter that will give them information. Beneficiaries will be invited to take advantage of this program when the life insurance claim is filed. Most individuals want to make sure that their beneficiary has access to a professional, because if I were to pass away and all of a sudden my 18-year-old son receives a lump sum of money, are they going to say, hey, thanks for the new car, or are they going to actually look to invest it and make sure that it's available for them in the future? You do have the right as employees to list anybody as a beneficiary, even minor children. In the event you do list a minor child and you pass away, Securian will hold that life insurance money until the child turns 18. During that time that Securian has the money, that amount will obtain interest and that full amount will be paid out at the end. With that, I want to make sure that you, the employees, take advantage of these resources provided through the life insurance benefit. These lifestyle benefits are available for you now and also when you need them. Please make sure to also pass on this information to your coworkers and team members that these are available free with no additional cost. So with that, Christy, if you want to open it up for questions, we definitely can. And it's up to you if you think we should keep recording the session or not.
Okay. I'm just going to open it up to questions, and then we'll go from there. Does anybody have any questions?
You're going to put these up on the website, on the HR website, or the benefits, or the slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to get it
Great.
captioned, and then we'll put up the video. There is a current document up on the website under benefits that lists how to access all these benefits as well.
Okay, that's great information. Thanks.
Hi, Christy, it's Carol. I've got a question. If you create a will and you create it in Utah and then you move somewhere else, will that impact the effectiveness of the document, or will it remain whole?
And this is Amy. That's a great question. That would be a perfect opportunity for you to reach out to the legal line, because they will be able to specifically know each state specific law. So that would be a great question for you to call that legal line on and ask.
Thank you.
All right, are there other questions? So what I'm going to pull up on the screen is what Christy will make sure gets distributed to everybody. This is just a really nice 2-page flyer that goes through all of those items that we spoke on. But then the really nice thing is all of the websites and phone numbers are listed on this document as well.
The form you with the will and stuff, that's just a
Yes.
template that we can use at any time. I mean, if like my mother really needs to do this, I mean, could I use that template to help her do this as well?
Absolutely, you can. This is available 24/7. It's available for you and your family members to be able to utilize and access these templates.
Great, thanks.
Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you for being here. I am now going to stop the recording.